Listen, I don't understand why you can't push your door as your QB2 too. That's me personally. I don't get that part. And here's the reason I'm saying that. Flacco knows Father Time has caught up to him, that he's not what he used to be. He's happy to be on the NFL roster to contribute in any way that he possibly can. He knows that he's a stopgap for the young gun's coming up career. He knows that. So there's nothing wrong with putting him at the QB3 spot. He's there as a security blanket to some degree. He's not what he was just a couple of years ago, when Deshaun Watson went down, and he guided the Cleveland Browns to the postseason before they lost to the Houston Texans. He's not what he used to be then. Third quarterback will anything. To say, I guess having fun. I guess what do you think? You have to show to coaches just to, have them have that belief in you that you can, be ready. How much has Joe been important to both you and Dylan in terms of your guys' development to this point? Man, y'all might picture this. The NFL's brightest young star, Shedeur Sanders, walks into a press conference wearing that crisp Cleveland Browns jacket. Cameras flashing like a 4th of July fireworks show. Reporters lean in, microphones stretched, waiting for the soundbite of the week. But instead, silence. Cold, unflinching, deliberate silence. No witty answers, no quotes to fuel tomorrow's headlines. Just Shedeur staring back, almost daring the NFL world to blink first. Within minutes, league officials are buzzing. By the hour, it reaches the commissioner himself. And suddenly, Cleveland's QB3 just set off a powder keg that might change everything. Because silence in this league can be louder than words. And Shedeur's silence hit like a warning siren. The Cleveland Browns quarterback room was already teetering on the edge of chaos. Joe Flacco's magic fading, Dylan Gabriel earning headlines, and Shedeur Sanders fighting uphill from quarterback 3. Cleveland, a city starved for a true quarterback hero, watches every snap, every word like jurors in a never-ending trial. For Andrew Barry and Kevin Stefanski, job security lives and dies with who takes that first snap. The weight is crushing, the expectations relentless. So when Shedeur stepped into the press conference, it should have been routine. Cameras flashing, questions firing. Another day in the NFL spotlight. But Shedeur made a statement without making a sound. Literally. Instead of answering, he mouthed his responses. Not sarcasm, not arrogance, just a quiet rebellion. A protest against a media machine that, in his view, spins and twists every syllable he speaks. That choice wasn't accidental. It was calculated. Because in a league where every word becomes a headline, Shedeur refused to give them ammunition. He gave them nothing but silent lips moving, daring anyone to claim they knew exactly what he meant. It was part performance art, part courtroom protest, and part warning shot to anyone determined to turn him into a villain. But here's the catch. Silence, or in this case, a voice deliberately muted, can be louder than any sound bite. Within minutes, clips of Shedeur mouth his answers spread like wildfire. By the hour, league officials reportedly called it a mockery of the media process. And by day's end, it landed squarely on the commissioner's desk. The Browns thought they had a quarterback controversy before, but this was dynamite, because Shedeur wasn't just protecting himself. He was challenging the system. And the system does not like being challenged. The explosion was coming. It started with one question. A reporter leaned forward, eyes hungry, asking Shedeur about his chemistry with the first-team offense. Instead of speaking, Shedeur moved his lips slow and deliberate. Cameras zoomed in. Reporters leaned closer. Yet, no sound came through the microphone. The room froze for a heartbeat. Nobody knew what they were witnessing. Was the mic broken? Was he joking? Then came the second question, then the third. Same result. Sanders mouthed the answers, stone-faced, unshaken, his eyes daring the media to fill in the blanks themselves. And that's when the wildfire began. Clips flooded social media within minutes. Shedeur trolling the press. Shedeur refusing to speak. Shedeur's silent protest. Some fans laughed, calling it genius. Others slammed it as disrespectful. But behind the scenes, league executives weren't laughing. According to rumors swirling out of Berea, NFL officials immediately flagged the moment, seeing it as a direct slap at the integrity of press availability. That word integrity spread like wildfire. To the league, this wasn't just a young quarterback being quirky. Inside those walls, every rep, every drill, every whispered comment matters. Joe Flacco, the veteran who briefly revived Cleveland last season, sees himself as the steady hand. But privately, some in the building whisper that Flacco is running on fumes, a candle flickering at the end of its wick. Then there's Gabriel, the rookie darling, recently handed the QB1 job. His rise came fast. Too fast, some say. Rumors swirl that Stefanski prefers Gabriel, not just for his arm, but because he's coachable, controllable, a quarterback who won't challenge authority. Shedeur's silent protest only widened that divide. Suddenly, the comparison isn't about completion percentages. It's about loyalty to the league's rules. Shedeur, meanwhile, is the wild card. He's not just another rookie fighting for snaps. He's Sanders. He carries the charisma of his father, the swagger of a brand, and the firepower to light up defenses if given the chance. To his supporters, he's the future. To his critics, he's a headache wrapped in potential. Whispers out of Berea suggest Shedeur's reps at practice have quietly shrunk since the incident. Some claim Gabriel is being fed more first-team work, while Flacco hoards the veteran attention. In a room where every player is fighting for control of the huddle, Shedeur's act gave his rivals ammunition. Yet, here's the twist. Inside the locker room, several young players are reportedly siding with Shedeur. They see him as authentic, someone unafraid to push back against the machine. And in a sport built on brotherhood, that matters. The quarterback battle was supposed to be about arm strength and accuracy. Now it's a political chess match. And the winner won't just take the field. He'll take control of the Browns' future. The moment those clips hit social media, the Browns' quarterback drama turned into a full-blown media inferno. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, every platform exploded with hot takes. Fans cut the footage into memes, looping Shedeur silently mouthing answers while captions screamed, "Protecting himself from the media machine." Then, others mocked him, dubbing the video with random sound bites, turning his protest into a circus. ESPN ran the story on a loop. Stephen A. Smith thundered from the first take desk, his voice rising like a courtroom prosecutor. "You can't come into the NFL and refuse to speak. That's not leadership. It's arrogance." Meanwhile, Pat McAfee chuckled on his show, calling it the most college move of all time, while still admitting he respected Shedeur's refusal to let reporters twist his words. Browns fans themselves fractured overnight. Half defended Shedeur, praising him for outsmarting a hostile media that had painted him as cocky since draft night. The other half accused him of embarrassing the franchise, dragging Cleveland into yet another storm when stability was desperately needed. Rival fan bases piled on gleefully. Steelers and Ravens fans tweeted nonstop memes, calling Shedeur Silent Sanders, and joking that he'd never have to call out protections since no one could hear him anyway. Inside the NFL orbit, journalists fumed. Beat writers openly called the act a disgrace, warning that the league might restrict Shedeur's media access altogether. National columnists turned the moment into a morality play. Was this immaturity, or a young star protecting himself from a broken system? The media machine wasn't just reporting anymore, it was hunting. Every headline, every panel discussion turned Shedeur into either a martyr or a villain. And the Browns, once desperate to control their quarterback narrative, suddenly had no control at all. The question now wasn't if this storm would affect the field, it was when. When the media firestorm hit, it didn't just stay in headlines. It seeped onto the grass at the Browns' practice facility in Berea. Players could feel the tension before the first snap. Coaches barked a little louder. Every drill seemed to carry a hidden agenda. The quarterback competition, already razor-thin, now felt like a political trial held under stadium lights. Shedeur walked onto the field with his usual swagger, helmet tucked under his arm, eyes locked forward. But the atmosphere had shifted. According to practice reports, reps were quietly redistributed. Gabriel suddenly getting more first-team looks, Flacco commanding the veterans, and Shedeur's opportunities shrinking. To outsiders, it looked like punishment, a silent reminder that challenging the system comes with consequences. Yet, despite fewer reps, Shedeur's throws stood out. Rumors spread that during a 2-minute drill, he threaded a 30-ply strike between defenders, a ball so sharp it drew gasps from teammates. Even with limited snaps, he was making noise on the field, not behind a podium. Some players reportedly clapped him on the shoulder after plays, signaling solidarity in the middle of chaos.